This is part two of the Storyteller's Lounge, a collaborative evening with Deb Mashik. She's going to talk to us about her book, Collaborate.
This is Collaborate.
Collaborate.
Collaborate, how to build incredible collaborative relationships at work, even if you'd rather work alone.
Do people hate collaborating?
So I tucked the H in parentheses in the title as a wink. It's the silent H because I think a lot of people do hate to collaborate. So a lot of collaborations start out with all these really high expectations. They're filled full of potential. But then when people start working together, you tend to meet with dashed hopes, fallen expectations, headaches, and heartaches. And I'm of the position that we should talk about that hard stuff if we have any hope of making collaboration more bearable, more productive for everyone, especially in the workplace where people spend more waking hours at work than in any other task combined. And when our workplaces are filled full of tension and frustration and conflict and interpersonal battles, it's exhausting. It's bad for business. It's bad for our personal well-being. And I think we can do it a heck of a lot better.
So do you do groups with people?
So in my consulting work, I do executive advising and I help people develop strategies for collaboration at the organizational level and helping organizations figure out how to work with each other, which is really important, especially in nonprofits and in higher education settings.
So what we were doing tonight, which I thought was collaborating on painting, you're saying we didn't set specific goals. We just sort of, and Kate said, well, we made a few rules. Don't paint over somebody else's.
And actually, we didn't make the rules. So some rules got offered, but we didn't at any point adopt them or say, yes, these are the rules we're going to operate by.
Oh, but because this is not a workplace, is there a different kind of collaboration when people want to create an art project together, or is it the same thing?
So I haven't studied artist. So there's definitely a space of naivete and humility there for me. But one of the things culturally that I think is really problematic with the word collaboration is people use it as a stand-in to talk about all forms of working together. No matter what you're doing, if you're doing it together, it must be collaboration. And I think that's a disservice to what the potential is for collaboration. For me, it really is a specific thing where there is a shared goal. We know what we're trying to do. It's complex. It's more magnificent than any of us could have possibly done alone. And what I love about the project we just did is it allowed for a lot of serendipity, which is lovely and fun, and this beautiful thing emerged. In the workplace, I, as a business owner, would be very uncomfortable with that as just go throw some spaghetti against the wall, see what happens, in part because we don't often have the luxury of time or budget for that. But when creating, the creative enterprises, like this thing that we just created, maybe there's more space for that.
But you created your book. Why did you start to actually write a book?
Yeah, so the backstory, there's a really interesting backstory, I think, about why I'm interested in collaboration, but why I decided to write the book is I'm a social psychologist. I study the psychology of relationships and have spent over 25 years teaching and researching on the psychology of relationships. And I noticed in conversations with people, whether it's in my consulting work or with my students or with my colleagues, a lot of frustration with other people. And certainly I have that too. I'm not immune to it just because I know the research or whatnot, but I wanted to take everything I knew and digest it in this accessible, easy to read, filled full of these really practical tips and tricks that people can use to improve their workplace collaborations.
So you have some advice for us to do something about painting that would help us come out with, I can't say masterpiece because it's just a few hours in one evening. But what would you suggest if we decided that, yes, we want to collaborate on the painting, all four of us?
I would start with asking, what are your hopes and dreams here? What warrants us working together? What's the promise and potential of us working together that would be different from all of us just going off into our own corners and working alone? So in other words, what's at stake if this goes really, really well? But also, let's be honest, what's at stake if this absolutely flops and we end up with a puddle of mud, and Kate's holding her hand up going,
Nothing.
absolutely nothing, which is the glory and beauty of what we're doing. There is nothing at stake other than some of those paint drops that we got on your floor, but we fixed those.
Oh, Jess, can I ask you, did you have a goal in mind?
I did not have any goal.
Can I ask you, did you have a goal?
I was just happy to see everybody, and to be able to create. And I'm not a collaborator by nature. I'm a creator, but not collaboratively. So this is new for me, but it's been fun. And the minimal guidelines that you did set or threw out or suggested, we didn't always adopt them, was kind of like, a little bit of a framework in my mind. Okay, this is what I think this is how this is gonna go. And let's just do it. And Deb kind of just started the ball rolling with her little circles.
Yes.
And it just took off from there.
Yes.
And it's been fun.
Okay, well,
I actually love
I had this idea in mind. We're all going to collaborate, and that I was going to throw paint all over the painting. And then somehow everybody else was going to throw paint on the painting and make all these colors and layers.
I still think we can. I'm sort of feeling like I want to.
Fabulous
happened to be-
example where you did have something in mind that where often we don't even know we have assumptions about how things are going to unfold because they're so obvious to us. So, for you, the idea of doing something more organic and messy and layered, and your vision required people to paint over each other's work and to create those layers. And then and this happens all the time in collaborations out in the real world, whether it's around our kitchen table or with our coworkers, where we don't even, it doesn't even occur to us to express that assumption or that preference or that vision. And then it's really easy for other people. And I'm not saying we've disappointed you. You're super non-attached to your vision. But when we talk about collaboration with families and in the workplace and whatnot, it's really easy for people to accidentally disappoint other people because we don't share our preferences and expectations in the first place. And lo and behold, none of us are mind readers. And so, we're not able to do it differently. And so this process of going slow enough so people can share their preferences, their hopes, their dreams, their fears, their memories. Just shared her baggage of, like, when I was in third grade, a teacher
I'm the last person to ever do that.
painted over and said, you're not doing it right, let me redo it. And the way that all of us do enter into these relationships with histories and wounds and baggage, and it's like, do we give each other a chance to bubble those up?
Oh, well, I think it's very interesting. I'm not attached to how we should do something. My idea was, we'll figure it out when we go along. But I did not know that collaboration was so intentional. I thought that collaboration is something that happens. Now, we all know each other, and we all really like each other. And we were in a class together. And that might make a difference because we all respect each other. And Deb, I'm just going to say something. In the class, I noticed that you were very supportive of everyone, and you were extraordinarily supportive of me. I would turn around and you would be there with a smile on your face. And so I wanted everybody to come over and share painting because to me it's a lot of fun. And it's not a business situation.
Nope.
So I'm sure that if there was a time limit, that would be different.
Or if we had to sell something tomorrow,
If we had to
and
sell,
we had to
if
like
we had to
create-
sell the
That
painting.
would be a whole nother dynamic.
For the top dollar.
Right.
Right. And I think, you and actually all of us have used the word fun, I think, already. And I would say that was probably the goal. It's not what we were going to paint or what the rules were going to be, but it's this idea of coming together and doing something communally that elevates the fun and the spirit of it.
Yeah.
This is Rhoda Pierce for the Storytellers Lounge. Deb Mashik, we'd like to thank you so much. We learned a lot about collaboration tonight. We learned to set goals. We agreed that we could all paint over the painting and just paint whatever we wanted. And this is the result. We did lose the bird, and some of us still like the bird better. Here's Deb's book, available on Amazon. Thanks for watching.